We're here. We're doing it. I think we're live.
We're going?
Let's check. I could be lying.
Let's double up.
Your City playoffs.
Three-way.
That's us. We're here.
Oh, look at
We're
that.
live. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome
What's
here.
going on?
It's us. It's me. First. Yeah, I guess so. Actually, third because me and Colin were here earlier.
We beat you.
But yeah. Hope everyone's doing great. What's up? What's up, Chloe? Let me turn off my phone volume. It's the boys.
You already know.
What's good. You know what's good. Yeah, so we're gonna be hitting a little Q&A action for you guys, talking about season 10, a very fun one. Let me turn it over to just the camera. You don't want to look at
See our beautiful faces.
freaking Dennis and Spencer. Animal.
There
There we go. There we go.
Nice.
All right, we've done it. We've done it. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Grump going right into it.
Yeah, Grump's got to get banned.
Get this guy out of here. No, I actually don't think I attribute Warrior pictures to my loss.
I wouldn't at all, personally. Yeah, so I mean, we'll kind of like talk through. Why don't we start with just like season 10 as a whole? Kind of going into it, like the actual season itself before the postseason stuff. What were your any like thoughts that you had on it? Things like, I mean, I'll start. Going into it, I definitely was pretty hungry for a win, and after so many first seeds,
Think it worked out?
first seeds, and not having anything happen, right? But no, I think kind of throughout the season, I was like, whatever the games are, what there will be, gonna have fun. A couple of maybe play style choices that I've kind of been leaning into this season is I'm using Fire Bro instead of Boomer or Hammer.
Yeah, that was
Hold down is awesome. Justin Grum says Bowser sucks. Hey, I agree.
I don't.
But I also have been going pretty ham on the base paths.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna steal as much as possible, and also played on. I think like. What do we have, like 10, 11 games during the season? 11, right?
11 total.
I played probably 6 or 7 of them on Peach's Garden.
Yeah.
It was wild. Every time I had a choice, I went there. I think one other person took me there, and I was like, okay, sure. That's what I wanted.
Good idea, yeah.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on the season?
So similar. I saw going in, especially with going into the season knowing Joey was not going to be participating.
Yes.
I was like, okay, that's a major player off. This is like, if there's an opportunity to do it, it's probably this is definitely my time. I didn't really have like, I've been so busy with everything, like it's hard for me to kind of be consistent with the game. So I kind of just like, I'm going like, okay, I trust that I'm good enough at the game to hop in and just play.
Yeah.
And throughout the season it worked out well, I think. But it was really just see how I can fare based on Joey being missing and picking up a win against you or Dennis was pretty huge in my books, which I did against Dennis.
It was a very interesting kind of end of the season with the seeding, right? Because since
it was very fun, actually. Yeah.
Typically, there's like the 4 of us are the big dogs, and we'll kind of bite back. But considering no Joe, the first seed ended up having a maybe easier time. You kind of screwed yourself. You were a little bit too good. You ended up locking second seed.
I gave myself a really rough path.
Yeah, so you were guaranteed to fight me or Dennis, because me and Dennis played for the first and third seed in the last weeks.
Yeah, it was. I've never seen that before. Like, you guys were playing a tiebreaker matchup. Whoever won got first seed, but the loser got third seed.
Third seed, yeah. The jump.
So it was kind of wild.
Very crazy.
But
that's very like interesting. What if, right? What if Dennis beat me there, and it'd be totally different playoffs entirely.
Yeah, because then me and you would have.
Yeah, we meet in semis.
That's wild. Wild to think about.
And then the winner would go on to face Dennis. Granted, saying Dennis would beat Nick, which come on, I think we all know. I think we all know how that would go.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do you want to talk about the playoffs?
Yeah, so like playoffs wise, we do this every year with our seasons where we do grudge seeding. So the top half of players, in order, pick their opponents from the bottom half of the players, right? So in this, the first 4 seeds, yeah, 8 player bracket at the end. Yeah, the top 4 seeds pick their opponents. I had the first pick. Now, if you go back in the last few playoffs, I lost to Andrew in season 9.
Right.
And I think season 8 as well. I mean, fact check me on that if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, grudge shooting rules absolutely.
Wait, season 9 I beat you.
Season 9 you beat me in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Really?
I think those the first 3 times I ever beat you.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
That's what started it all in terms of our little rivalry.
That's a good point, yeah. But Andrew had beaten me season 8. Maybe season 7 then.
Yeah, whatever it is.
But Andrew always kind of lights me up in the best of, like in the series format, because I think I have a lot of pitching ability, which deteriorates over a set because people are going to start to learn it. Yeah, and Andrew is very much that player where he can kind of pick stuff up like that. And if he's locked in, it's a nightmare to deal with. But
Andrew either absolutely picks me apart and destroys me, or he just doesn't seem locked in.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 sides of the coin.
Always. And so I had my pick of the lot for players. So, I could have picked like somebody quote unquote easier, like Huge or Maddie. Which I mean we'll talk. Maddie.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that.
But I went Andrew. I wanted to, kind of put my foot down and be like, if I can beat Andrew, I can really do this, because like picking an easy player and then I just go through it, then my eye is like looking ahead and I'll be like, okay, I don't care about the quarters, I'm looking at semis, which is like, you cannot be playing that way because people will just eat you up if you're not focused on the game. So I was like, let me take Andrew, I'll lock in against him and I'll do what needs to be done. And that's kind of my idea about it.
Yeah, no, for me, it's funny you mention that because I chose Maddie specifically because I'm usually good against Maddie. Yeah. And my eyes, honestly, going into our series, while I was telling myself, because I play a lot of sports, like, you got to focus on your matchup, but you can't even help it, almost. So I was definitely looking ahead. I was like, all right, like, let's start thinking about Dennis before I even started thinking about Maddie. And I lost that first game to Maddie. And the second game, I was down in the 7th inning against Maddie. Like, if I had went down there, who knows what would happen. You'd probably see Dennis in the finals, or you might have even seen Maddie in the finals. He was playing so nuts.
Dude, that was a crazy.
He was so locked in. Yeah. He was playing out of his mind. I've never seen him play against me like that. I've seen him play really well, but he just was picking, like, especially that first game, like, he was just on top of how I play.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he really did his homework going into our matchup. And it was kind of strange in the first round of the playoffs having my back up against the wall, losing that first game. I was like, oh my God.
I think, I mean, he had so many opportunities with Boomer and KB. But you were just getting him to chase, which was amazing. A couple questions here. So, picking Red Toad just cause is awesome. Yeah, red is the faster color, even though blue is a higher speed stat. Hey, Jason Bowser sucks. Yeah, I agree. What else you got? I think Boomer should have just been used a lot more because Boomer is the best, bro. That's not true.
I don't think I agree with that.
I like all the bros are viable though.
That's true.
Where is Papa? He's the World Series MVP for being an ambassador of G Fuel. Yeah, you could use code DINGER20 for 20% off your G Fuel purchases. You wanted to ask about that, how the mentality of the early playoffs. Yeah, we just kind of went into that. Remember hearing how the matches went into like midnight. So Modern, we started. Colin had work that day. We were supposed to play the week before. A bunch of people got sick, so we rescheduled. Colin had work, so we had to start at like 9:30 was game 1. And
that was a wild
game 7 ended at 1:45 a.m. So that was kind of the grind.
It was very tiring.
Like 4 hours of baseball. It was a lot, but it was very fun.
Starting so late into the day, you have just like residual fatigue from whatever you did that day. I mean, I came from work. I got off work at like 8, and I got here as soon as I could. But I come from like an hour away.
Yes,
sitting in traffic. It was not fun. But
waiting.
I got through it though. I had two whole energy drinks during that 4-hour span. Afterwards, we even hung out too. We didn't go straight home after the World Series.
We hung out till like 4.
Yeah, we hung out till like 4 in the morning, and I didn't get home till like 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I couldn't fall asleep.
Dude, that's so
I had way too much caffeine that day.
Dedication, then no, absolutely. I mean, you know what? It was wild. Finishing up talking about the playoffs though, my semis opponent was Nick, who going into that match, I was like, I'm gonna absolutely demolish this man. And I did. So, I think I mercied him 3 times.
Oh my goodness.
He beat me in game 2. Yeah.
Okay.
I mercied him in 5 the first game. He beat me in 9.
Okay.
I mercied him in 5. I mercied him in 4.
That's wild. That is. Yeah.
I had a 10-run inning in the first game.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, it's crazy.
See, I didn't even watch those games, to be honest.
Oh my gosh. It was so crazy.
The difference between season 9 Colin and season 10 Colin was season 9, I did my homework before every playoff series that I had.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, T-Bling didn't have a lot for me to watch. But now with season 10 Colin, and I'll talk about it more as we like start breaking down like each game.
Yeah.
But this Colin walked in, I didn't really practice at all. Like, I didn't hit the sticks. I didn't really come in with much game plan. I was just kind of like, I'm going to trust myself to be able to play well enough. And for the most part, I think it worked out. Because I was thinking that if I start overthinking too much, then I won't have my groove.
Oh yeah. Think yourself into oblivion.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. Which I kind of do often. But I don't know. I think it worked out. My series against Dennis, I think like recently, I feel like I've been matching up better against Dennis. And he always complains about playing you, and he's starting to complain about playing me because we play pretty similarly actually. You like emphasize your defensive game, while I emphasize my offensive game. But when it comes down to just like on the sticks, what we're doing, we are very similar.
I agree. I think in turns, it's very interesting to talk about like matchups and stuff. Of the big 4, right? Me, you, Dennis, and Joey. I think I would say Dennis is my best matchup. Like I played Dennis the best. Then I think I'd put Joey as like pretty even, and then I would put you. I think you're my worst matchup of the 3 of them.
Yeah, I think I would also put Dennis as my best matchup, and then you, and then Joey, because if this is something that you don't know, or if anyone else here doesn't know, I've never taken a game over Joey.
Taking a James
over Joey.
That's crazy though.
Never.
Wow.
I mean, I've taken games over him in like the classic,
right?
And like,
but not just like
King of the Wheel.
Competitive.
But if we're drafting and then playing, that man is undefeated against me.
Crazy.
I just for some reason Joey's got that like crazy baseball brain that I just do not I'm not compatible with, I guess.
Moonlight says, during the World Series, how much did picking your opponent's good characters factor into your drafting, or were you more locked in on getting your characters? So we're kind of going to go through. I have the games pulled up here on YouTube. We're going to go through them one by one. I want to show you guys. We'll start like we can look at the draft.
Yeah.
Kind of say where our head was at between each game, and we can kind of like talk about that because I know my drafting strategy definitely evolved as that series continued.
Yeah.
Which. Speaking of, here, let's go ahead. I mean, before we show game 1, right? What were your thoughts going in? Like, right before we're doing, like, the anthem, all of that. Man, I was feeling it. I was feeling it like crazy.
Yeah. I think, like I was saying before, like, I was just really focused on keeping my composure and trusting myself.
Yep.
Like, I didn't want to get too like into the weeds of feeling the nerves and thinking about what you were gonna do. I was just like, let me worry about myself,
play your game,
and how I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna draft my guys at least at first, and then it kind of evolves as you go, like you were saying. But yeah, overall, I think I was pretty composed. Yeah. I was just kind of eye of the tiger. I had caffeine running through me like crazy, and you could see it too. In game 2, especially game 6, I think. I'm just like all over the place because I'm just so hyped up on caffeine. It's absolutely crazy.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. But yeah, mostly just trusting in myself was the big.
Absolutely. No, I think it's an important thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up game 1 here. So game 1 first. We'll take a look at game 1. What the heck is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? I'm missing one. The World Series begins. Where is it?
Uh-oh.
No!
They
can't see me yet, right? No, they can't. Okay.
No, they can't.
Let's see. Ready? Let's try. The World Series begins. Dude, it'll work.
I don't think it did.
It did not work. Is there like some other World Series that people care about? What is this? What's going on?
Grump, I try to reserve the sunglasses for silly games. When we're being serious, the sunglasses, the shades can't be on. It's just a personal rule of mine. I don't know. Wow, the World Series begins is 3 Dinger Cities videos down?
Yeah, dude.
That's wild.
All right, so let's go to this guy, and then we're going to go to this guy, and then we're going to go to this guy. Guys, if I reveal any things that I shouldn't, you can't tell Nick, okay?
Yeah, please don't.
It's not my fault.
This is without his supervision, so.
It's not my fault. Alright, so I think you guys can see that. Maybe, kinda, sorta. Can you see it?
We're good. Let me see.
Yeah, we can see it. Okay. Do you think that net players can handle the best of 7 gauntlet? I haven't met a single net player with the same stamina as a Dinger City player, I'll tell you that much.
I think so too. There's nothing like being under these lights.
Yeah.
Just going.
Freaking 90-degree basement at 3 a.m. So here was our first draft, right? And this is a whack one right off the rip.
Right off rip.
Because we're playing at Garden. This is something that I've been doing the whole season at Garden is I 2-3 Birdo Yoshi and just lock down defense. And I'm like, you can have all of the home run hitters because they're just going to hit solo shots, if anything.
Yep. At least for me, I knew. So you did a very good job of concealing the fact that you were just dead set on not choosing Bowser.
Oh yeah,
you did a very good job because I didn't know that was actually the case. I thought there's no way this guy actually just does not choose Bowser.
Well, here's the thing about that, right? Is I told Dennis. He's the only one that I told about this. Mm-hmm. I was like, Dennis, I gotta let you know something. He's like, yo, what's up? I was like, you can't tell anyone, but I have not picked Bowser the entire season, and I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's not about the start.
If I was like, listen, if I go down, 1-3 or something like that, it's like, this is what's killing me, then sure, I'm going to adjust. But to the best of my ability, I am not going to pick him, and we'll kind of ride with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, you know what? It's probably very lucky for me that you didn't watch my games with Nick. Because in the draft, Bowser went 8th in one of them.
Oh, wow, yeah. See, if I did my homework.
To Nick.
But yeah, that was one thing I definitely came in unprepared for was the drafts. Mm-hmm. Because usually against any normal player,
no, you're right.
Any normal player, I feel like I've got the drafting kind of down in terms of, it kind of goes very similarly with a normal, kind of meta draft. You see a lot of the players go around the same times, and I've gotten good at knowing which characters I want in those scenarios. Mm-hmm. So immediately with you, I was like, well, I know he's gonna let Bowser at least slide. I didn't know you weren't gonna take him.
Of course.
So I was like, okay, let me first pick Donkey Kong.
Go for them, yeah.
And then I'll just pick up Bowser because I wasn't. Even though we were on Garden, I figure if I hit the wall, then I hit the wall.
You still get some
It's
value,
still good,
for sure.
And it ended up working out on Bowser's Castle.
It ended up working out really well on Bowser's Castle, for sure. This game was actually, very high scoring. Let me pull up. Very high scoring, and we had these bobbles that really affected
Oh
it.
my gosh. I don't even want to see this. This makes me angry to this day. Is this it? Just right off the rip?
So this was
Is this the Wario?
This is Wario, yeah. You were batting. And I had a pretty comfortable lead here in the 8th, so I was feeling pretty good. And then Wario
That's so tragic.
rips this with no outs. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Oh gosh. I don't know if the audio is I don't know what the audio is like for you guys. If it's terrible, let me know. Let me know.
I mean,
I'm gonna mute them actually.
I was gonna say it might be better if we just don't.
There we go.
I mean,
that should be better. Hopefully.
Ball doesn't lie. I've been saying a lot recently.
Yeah.
Like that bobble I think costed you what, 3 or 4?
I believe this cost me 3 runs.
Yeah.
But again, it's like how many runs might have still come across.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really sure, but like I'll tell you, mentally and like momentum wise in game 1, have that happen, and then like now the bases are loaded, no outs. King Boo's up with Kem, like I'm pitching with Madge.
That's destructive.
Like, where did it all go wrong? I was just up 9-4.
Yeah.
And then Noki can't get there for that one.
Yeah, that was a blast. If I didn't see drop spot there, I could have sent everybody.
Yeah. I honestly thought Noki was gonna catch that.
Oh yeah, me too.
Opinion, I thought she was gonna leg that out and get there.
Yeah. I mean, just this game in general. After this game, I was like, I do not want to go back to Peaches because.
Can I show you why?
Yes. That's such an unfortunate double play.
Yeah.
But I think at least for Peaches Garden against you, I saw right away going into it. Like after the draft, I was like, okay, if I lose
really
this,
tragic.
it's oh my god.
That's so tragic.
Like what do I do differently there?
Like 2 outs too.
Oh
my god. And then it just goes on.
Destructive. I put my brave face on for that one, but I was so angry. And that died.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
it's gonna roll past you no matter what.
The game giveth and taketh away.
Giveth and taketh away. I think this might have been our highest scoring game. Game 1, I think. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I mean, off this bobble, I think I get to like 14, and then I think you pull it back to 9.
I think you're right.
Which is where we kind of end off that game. Going into this game too, game 1, I was like, I had a couple of strategies in mind for the whole World Series. I was like, I want to vary my pitchers as much as possible. It's the best of 7, and I want to keep it, kind of fresh and prevent you from catching on too much. And I was like, I really, really want to win game 1.
Yeah,
because it's just it puts you mentally in such a nice spot. And I did not want to be playing from down 0-1.
Can't say I blame you.
Yeah, that was like very much in my head. Like, I need to win this game.
It was after this game where I was like, okay, let me think a lot more about drafting and how I can counter Jason here, because not having done enough thinking about what you might do, I think affected me right off the rip, because I gave you, but you got Peaches Garden, you got Birdo Yoshi, and that's like immediately in terms of drafting, you're immediately in like, okay, I am down.
I'm in my comfort zone.
Like I am losing this draft off the first 3 picks. You know what I mean? So it was from then on I was like, oh shit, okay, let me think about this a little bit more.
Yeah. Which after that
though, I think I did fine drafting. But that first game, I was like, I after before we started the first game, I was kind of like, if I lose, drafting absolutely played a part in that. And I think that turns out to be true when you look back. But yeah, I don't know.
Pitcher strategy was super interesting. Yeah, I think it's something I was definitely keeping an eye on. I think it was game 4 that showed it especially. So I think I actually kind of deviated from my plan, and I think it really hurt me. And this game is actually why. Right? I opened up, I had Boo on the mound. Just switched to Magic, switched to Wally here and there, but I had Boo as my main pitcher. And, I won the game. I scored quite a few runs. You were hitting as well, but the kind of key thing is that I was scoring runs, because this game, I was not scoring runs against your Boo.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me double back on myself. But kind of getting ahead of myself there, like this draft, a lot more standard draft-wise. You know, you see Bowser, I go DKPD, see Birdo, Yoshi. I guess some people would say King Boo's going pretty late here. I think people are generally up on King Boo, but I don't think it's anything egregious. You know, the top 10 is gone where the top 10 goes.
Yeah. I find
it's
funny you mention that because it is interesting choosing, at least in my opinion, choosing Madge over Boo there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like locking up Boo, especially on the stadium, I feel like it's really easy to get that curve and the stars and stuff like that. So
I'm so up on Madge defense, man. It's such a killer. It's so hard to hit around Madge, and offensively he's a tank as well with the star. It's just like he just does so much.
I agree for sure.
So I'm definitely up on Madge overall.
Yeah. I had no intentions of playing Bowser Castle.
Yeah.
Going into the series.
I was like, oh, Bowser's Castle, it's like a hard to hit home run stadium. This is going to be a good stadium for me.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I actually have learned to really love Bowser's Castle during this series because it's kind of interesting how, I mean, obviously DK Jungle is better for it, but it's still good for the heavies. Especially because you were struggling to catch the ball off the wall.
I was so tilting. I was getting so annoyed by this freaking wall.
If you were catching the balls off the wall, it would have been a different series.
Yeah, for sure. It would have. you probably are like 7 or 7 or 8 here instead of 11, which is much more maintainable. And as we're about to see, it goes up. It's the wall. Dude, like with the thwomps moving around, I can't see the ball's shadow at all.
Yeah.
And then it switched me on Mario there.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You see I'm going off about it right now in the player cam. I was like, this is unreal, man.
Yeah. It was great. It was great. Because Bowser's Castle it's such a small stadium, but with huge walls.
Yeah. So you can still put the ball in play.
Yeah. So there's a very, even if it's not the greatest contact, even with Wario, I was hitting the wall with Dokkem. Like if you just get good, like slightly good enough contact, it's hitting the wall, and it's hard to gauge if you need to jump or wall jump or just let it hit the wall and bounce. So it ended up being very helpful.
Audio, sorry. Sorry if that was awful for your ears. I don't know if you guys can hear the video audio when I'm doing that. Let me know if you can.
But mentally, this is a huge bounce back game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was kind of like, for me, because you go on to Mercy Me here, right? I'm not going to put up any runs. The game ends in the 7th. I think people overvalue Mercies in this game. Because I think it's like, your offense just was doing a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe like a 10-0 Mercy in like 4. That's a statement.
Yeah, that's a statement.
But like I'm putting up runs, I had some double plays. I couldn't get things going as well as you were. So you got the Mercy, but it's like in the 7th, it's like that's whatever.
Yeah. No, these games still feel tight, even if the score doesn't indicate it at the end. And even against Maddie, I mercied him in the last game, but the whole time I was sweating. You know what I mean? Like there's no point where you get comfortable until the game's over. So, and I think just between like 2 top players, like it really just depends on who's up. Like
I tried full screening it. That's probably better. And now the video ended.
Yeah, but yeah, against like 2 top players, I think it just comes down to like who in that moment was able to string together like some better runs, and sometimes that ends up ending in Mercy. But
yeah. No, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like I'm not getting demolished here.
Yeah.
This should be better, Allison. Let me know if this is good and you can actually see like the world now. I also muted the video because I'm so smart. But this is kind of where that pitcher strategy that I was talking about kind of petered out. Because at this point I was like, man, facing your Boo, I put up 4 and I was kind of getting cooked.
Right.
Bro just put up 14. So like, you know what? In my mind, Boo just rose up 3 spots on the tier list.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I got to draft accordingly,
Yeah.
That's just what it's going to be.
I didn't And one thing I took away from the series just about drafting is that like I think I would have benefited more if I drafted more aggressively than I did. I drafted more for myself than drafting against you, and I didn't want to say anything because it's like at the end, like I kind of like the mindset of let's draft our best guys and just have at it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I think I definitely would have benefited more to like kind of figure out which guys you were performing with the best, and towards the end I kind of did that, but going into it I wasn't really. It wasn't a focus throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely something that took note more so towards the end of the series in my mind, kind of as we went through. But this game, we're on Yoshi's Park. Odd thing, I guess I took Yoshi pretty high here. I probably would have gotten him anyway on the 5. I don't know if you would have picked Yoshi there if I picked Petey.
I don't think I would.
Yeah. So it kind of transposes to a normal deal. I would have been very
scared of
yeah,
of a bro PDDK.
Yeah. No, very valid.
But yeah, and it's actually funny because Yoshi's, or I guess Boshi's Industrial Park was where I played for most of season 10. Besides the postseason, I think I played 7 out of my 11 games at Boshi's for whatever reason. So I went into the series up on Boshi's and I left very down. I think I won game. Didn't I mercy here game 6 or game whatever 6. It is? But it just I knew that you weren't going to be picking as many heavies. I was locked in to have Bowser, so I needed smaller stadiums, and I ended up choosing. This is getting ahead of myself a little bit, but Bowser's Castle at the very end. That was my pick. That stadium pick. I wonder if I chose like a DK's or a Wario's. What might have played out there.
That would have been very interesting. The draft would have been very different.
Because
serious questions only. You can ask whatever question you like.
Oh yeah.
And I'll probably answer.
Ask me anything. Ask me something I'm comfy, guys.
So this game, I mean, this is one of the games. I think this is in my opinion the best game of the series. Very close.
Oh yeah.
Even in the what is this, the 8th?
There was it was either this game or another one, but there was one where we kept trading 1-run leads.
What was this?
Yeah,
this is the game.
It's so wild, wild.
Like pretty much the whole time we're trading the leads. It's super tight, super close. We're both putting up runs. We're both making plays. This had the inside the Parker from Pianta.
Oh my god!
From the freaking plant. Yeah, I'd be tilted too.
Because I was kicking myself.
Full screen actually makes it a little worse. No.
Yeah.
Is there what about theater mode? I feel like theater mode might be the move. You let me know. I can't adjust the actual positioning of it because I'm too dumb. I'm sorry. I wish I could.
Who'd win an immediate money rematch?
Oh, as easy as me.
I think that's absolutely no question me. But, we're not gonna.
As it should be. As we should be. Okay, theater mode is the move. It's perfect. Oh, hallelujah! We've done it. This right here is the best feeling I've ever had in Mario Superstar Baseball.
This might be the worst.
No,
actually, no.
There's one worse. Oh my goodness. Everyone in the background you can see standing up. Oh, it's so hyped, man. In the 9th with Fire, bro.
That's just so wild. I'm such a choke artist in the 9th, bro. That's crazy. Because I blew this lead. I mean, there's the 1-run lead.
Yeah.
And then obviously we're going to get to the other one.
We'll get to the other one, but yeah.
Yeah, this game, I don't really have much to say about this game. I think it was just like a battle.
It was, yeah, exactly.
And it could have gone either way. And then it didn't go mine.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
It's definitely how it goes. I think I thrive.
Oh, fuck this.
Yeah, I thrive in the 9th inning. I even going back, like playing in like a bunch of net play superstars. I think one of the net play superstars, I forget which one, I won 3 games in a row with 9th inning comebacks. It was like I beat Clutch with a DK walk-off perfect center field shot.
Wild, yeah.
I beat I think it was Cheeky way back in the day. with an L cancel PD home run to walk it off. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like I really kind of like get into the zone for this.
Mm-hmm.
Was this the game that Noki pitched 2 innings in the middle, or was that game 4? I'm actually not sure. Let's find out.
Yeah, Noki was. I feel like Noki hit the mound a few times in this series. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, Noki definitely made an appearance.
I'm seeing only Dixie and Boo right now. Yeah, I think it might have been next game, but
probably next game. Where Noki came in. Talking about stadiums, do you think going Dinger City Field at any point would have helped either of you more? So me, probably not. Mario Stadium is Bowser's best stadium. Looking at like net play games, I think he has like a 60% win rate on Mario's. So a lot of these games, I think I was the home team.
Okay. Yeah, I think you were right about that. I think I only chose the stadium really because it might have just been the last game.
Yeah, because when I had choice, I would pick the home team, and when you had choice, you would usually go draft pick.
Right.
So I was very often the home team. I mean, as we see throughout these games, right? Yeah, obviously it was me. I'm the home team here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or rather, this one was you. I think
I chose Boshi's. You know what? That sounds right. Actually.
I probably banned Bowser.
I think I chose.
Fiasco. So,
I think I chose Boshi's because I was like, I've been here the whole season. You know, I might as well. But I didn't I didn't think about how the heavies would match up. And I think if I had chosen if I chose Dinger City Field in this spot, I think it could have gone differently. But I mean, those 2 homers that you hit at the end,
yeah,
I think those are going out either way.
Those are going out way better further. On Mario, yeah.
So really, I don't think it ends up mattering too much. In terms of, I actually kind of like gimmicks. I think it just enhances the experience. Even if it doesn't work out in your favor, I think it's more fun of a way to play the game.
Yeah.
I think going Mario's. I mean, maybe going Mario Stadium or Dinger City Field, whatever you prefer. Maybe I could have done it in the last game.
Yeah,
but I also don't. The gimmicks didn't really come into play in the last game. Besides maybe some star pickups.
Yeah, there was the Pianta inside the Parker from a plant, but that would just be a home run on Mario's probably.
Yeah.
So it's it's kind of hard to say. Are we gonna train the boys at John Boy Media? Yeah, we would love to collab with John Boy. That would be awesome. I love their stuff. Just for the Noki pitch, yeah, Noki. That's kind of what we were saying earlier, right? With me trying to pick different pitchers, and you were mentioning Game 4. Anytime we actually saw it in Game 1 as well. Anytime that Colin started to get like a rally going, I would try to switch out the pitchers. That's another reason I really like Noki because she has the pitching ability. So, I can kind of try to make some stuff happen here. And this game, we see the draft here. I go DK Burrow. Right, Burrow is a pretty pivotal part. And again, you see Boo at the 6. I'm never picking Boo at 6, if not for kind of my mentality of like, I need Boo to be able to hit the ball.
Yeah.
And I felt like I wasn't going to be able to hit it against your Boo, so I was like, I'm picking Boo early. And I did. It kind of, what do I end up giving up? Birdo captain. Is really the big one there.
Yeah, I was pretty good with Birdo. I was when I was rewatching the series, I was wasting a lot of stars on Birdo, but when I was hitting with Birdo, it was good.
I don't think you hit into any outs with Birdo, like very few at least, for sure.
I was either swinging through it with a star or I was getting a really good egg out, which was cool.
Yeah, we like that.
It's a pretty standard draft, I would say.
I love that Toad saw pretty much every game of the World Series. Yeah. We're both Toad believers.
I'm up on Toad.
I'm so up on Toad.
Once they evened everything out, I was like, okay, because Red Toad's bat before they made the switch was, I've always liked Toad.
So good, yeah.
But he just wasn't good enough fielding. Yeah. I mean, he's still not good fielding, but he's getting a little bit of that boost and allowing me to put Blue Toad now. I know you don't believe in that. I like picking
Blue Toad is strictly better than Red Toad. I don't disagree with your statement, but it is what it is.
I think he's just a reliable bat. Like I would rather bat with Toad than a lot of other characters. Like I would rather bat with Toad than Wario, or even Dixie. It's easy picks like Dixie or like Toad's just goated like that.
So here's the moment we were talking about before, right? I shuffle my entire fielding strategy around to get Green Noki on the mound. What was happening to me here? 4-0, yeah. 4-0 does not feel good. And then, dude, and freaking Noki catches that right after I switch it.
That's always how it goes.
It's always how it goes. But I just needed to shut things down, and I don't even know if she did the job, honestly.
I don't remember. I feel like...
Okay, there we go.
I tend to do better, I feel like, against, like, slower pitching. I feel like most people do. But, at least for me, again, like, just reading into my opponent was a lot less of a priority than I think it should have been for me.
Ooh.
I feel like I very much go based off of my instincts, and I kind of react to a lot of pitches instead of predicting where the pitches are going to be.
This is actually a really good question. Owen says, Jason, from what I saw in the playoffs, you telegraphed when you're going to steal second by not Joe bunting. Do you plan to change that? That's very interesting. Honestly, I didn't even notice that I was doing that.
Yeah.
Where I was kind of just getting ready to get the steal. And how could I even change that? I'm not going for Joe bunts per se. I'm just showing bunt. It helps.
I do the same thing. I line it up.
Yeah, it helps me like line up my bat, and it keeps me like from swinging at bad pitches. I say as I swing at that. But yeah, because if I'm trying to get a perfect steal, my thumb needs to be on Y, and we see it right there.
Yep.
I didn't show bunt. That's really interesting, Owen. I hate that you revealed my secrets.
Yeah, I actually knew that the whole time.
Wow.
I was picking up on that. No, yeah, I mean, you could look at either me or Jason batting. It doesn't even matter. We'll both be doing the bunt before the pitch is thrown.
There's no reason for it.
I got that from you.
There's no like first competitive thing about it.
Yeah. It's just a fun thing.
That's very interesting. You know what? I'll have to look into it, Owen. Maybe I need to start stealing with my finger and use claw grip so I can still bait them by showing bunt. That's really good eyes on you.
Another thing that I was kind of trying to do throughout this series was not make it obvious what I was going to do at the plate. Like, there were a couple times where on both of our ends where we were showing one thing at first, and then we switch it up to the next thing.
Yep.
Like, I was showing bunt with Bones once, I think, and then I ended up star hitting it, and it was a really good star hit.
Yeah.
I think you did it with, like, maybe Waluigi or something.
And it's because, like, that's a big thing. Is like, when they're going for bunt, you really have to, like, play carefully if they're threatening to score. That banana was so tough. You actually see me right here. I look over to Dennis, I think. Because he was like, nice banana. And I was like, you're freaking wrong, dude. Shut up.
So, yeah, I think this game is pretty much over. We can just move on.
There's nothing else interesting, you think?
I don't think we need to show that.
What if I skip forward a little bit? Are you sure that there's
No, I don't think that's necessary. No, it's really okay.
How about this, dude? Me going for the tech with Boo.
That was a wild decision.
You think so?
Listen, I was not about to say anything, but I think that was just an absolute... It's based. I just think that was an absolutely wild decision. I pitched very aggressively to that, too.
Yeah, you did?
I was like, I'm going to make him just swing
Let's
out.
get some context.
So this... All right, listen.
Yeah, what happened?
You know, like I've been saying, I was really trusting my instincts in this World Series. So I was like... In my head, I'm like, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I didn't go into the at-bat kind of thinking about the potential walk. I was like, I'm getting KB out here. Going back, obviously, I walk here.
You sure?
But I think I made a decision, and I don't think it was the right decision. But with adrenaline pumping, you know, sometimes these things happen.
Well, I think you were just trying to get me to chase, but you actually see, let me show you this. Look at Dixie on the mound here. You're lined up at the absolute edge, and right there you move in a little bit, and I know that it's coming over the plate. And that's how I grab it. Probably the biggest pop off I've ever had in a game.
Yeah, that was the most frustration I've ever shown.
That's so valid.
That was the first. I slammed my hand there. It was actually pretty kind of hurt.
But I should pull up the video too. My phone died just for chat.
Oh yeah, I mean my phone is at 3, so let's see how long we can.
We'll trade it off once we need to.
Yeah.
But so after this game, right? This was game 4. I was now leading 3-1.
Yes.
So I was like, getting that walk up. I was on cloud 9. I was like, I'm in a really great position to win this thing. I can actually take home the belt. I just need to put up one more, and I have so many games to do it. So let's focus up. Let's take it home. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And we took a little breather after that game.
I stepped out.
I did. I went upstairs to get some water, and I was like, oh, he's probably just like stepped outside for some air. I look in like the backyard, no sign of you. I'm like, maybe he's in the living room. I go in the living room,
disappeared.
No one there. I was like, is he in the bathroom? No, bathroom's empty. Where did you go?
So after there's a couple questions too. So afterwards, I'll make sure to answer them. But after that game, I needed just like a full reset. So I was like, there's only one way that my brain knows how to do that, and that's to like literally just physically exhaust myself. Yeah. So I was immediately like, I walked into this knowing that I would do this if I needed to, if I was down, if I was one game away from losing. So I went outside, and this is a pretty long street that the house is on, and I just started sprinting as fast as I possibly can. And I was in the middle of the street. It was probably midnight at this point, so there were no cars. I just sprinted as far as I could, physically drained myself, and then I walked back. And honestly, it kind of helped.
I would say that it worked. Yeah. If we're looking at what happened.
I came back in. I was sweating. It was hot in here to begin with. And I was sweating like a freaking pig, but it was.
I'm also those that pulled up the wrong video. It's the same one twice.
Yeah.
No.
Go to the draft on this though, really quick. I don't know if it was this one or the last one, but PK was asking, why I chose Luigi over KB. So I guess not this one. Oh yeah, no, not this one. The last one. I think if I'm just being honest, I probably didn't want Jason to have Luigi. No, I don't know. Which game is it? Which game was it? Yeah, I did have the perpetual gamer lean. I can't help it. I don't know. That's just like when I lock in. That's just kind of where my posture goes. I zoom in. That's what I call it.
I zoom in. Here, you went Luigi over KB.
I chose Luigi over KB here, thinking I had a feeling that you weren't gonna pick KB.
Yeah,
because it was Peach's Gardens.
Yep.
I knew that I would and honestly, I think I was okay with not I still had Bro on the table. No, I did not. That's a lie.
Nah, I picked Bro right before that. Yeah.
I would rather you not have Luigi, and I would. Oh, I also believed that I would get KB. And it ended up working that way.
And that was just when I'm on Garden, I really play a defensive team. That's kind of my strategy. Is like I'm going to get Green Noki. I'm going to get Birdo Yoshi, Madge, Mario. Like my fielding is locked down.
Yeah.
If you look at these characters,
Yeah. Okay, I see now. You meant Luigi over KB. I don't know. I felt like with KB, he throws it a little too quickly.
Oh, for pitching.
Yeah, if he meant for pitching, I didn't realize. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. With KB, I like pitching with KB, but in that scenario, I felt like Luigi would give me more time to read what he was doing on the plate. When I pitch, I kind of try and also react to what the batter is doing. I have an idea for what I want to do, but pitching for me is just kind of on the fly. I go by my feeling. KB is a little bit too quick of a pitch, But I do like pitching with KB. It was just one of those decisions that you make in the middle of the game, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then why no star pitches? I was thinking about doing star pitches against KB when you smashed
walk
it.
Off.
Mm-hmm. Why I didn't is a good question. I don't know. I think I don't do star pitches enough to have done it in that scenario. Yeah. I think if I was more comfortable with star pitching, then I probably would have done it, but I don't have enough experience where I could justify doing it.
It's also, I think the curve star pitch, I think it's pretty weak overall. Yeah. Because it slows the ball down so much. It's like, yeah, you can move it, but it's like, if I just keep pace with where you're going, like, I'm going to crush that thing, like, to the moon. It's definitely, like, it's not easy per se, but I think outside of a captain star pitch, you're really taking a risk, in my opinion. But that's kind of how it goes. And then here we go. This is game 5. This was after your run. You brought us back to Bowser. So I must have. You chose this.
I did.
Which I think you chose the home team at this point.
Yeah, I think I just started letting you take control of the drafts. And then I wanted to make sure that I got to stadiums.
I think it's a really good call. So I mean, my draft right is very unorthodox. Right, I'm very down on Bowser, so I don't really have as big of an advantage from picking draft pick. It's really just like, who do I want to shake out with in like the 5, 6, 7 spots.
Yep.
So like it's really kind of inconsequential versus getting a stadium.
Yeah,
it's pretty big.
So yeah, and also the other thing was, I came back downstairs and I was like, now I needed a second to just kind of like recuperate from running. But I went in the bathroom and I just, you do that kind of like look in the mirror thing, like, all right, like this time, it's time to perform, And I was like, all right, let's do what worked.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, let's not worry about how the other games went. Let's go back to the stadium that it worked on and just do that again. And then this one wasn't a mercy, but it worked out that way.
It did work out. Yeah, this one was a much closer game. I mean, in the draft too, you ended up taking Green Noki, which is like, it's tight about that. I really want to get on the team, but I'm not gonna pick her above like Mario, Waluigi, etc. So kind of is what it was.
In this game, I was surprised that you let Birdo go. I was surprised to see, after I got Yoshi, I was surprised to see you let Birdo go.
Well, that's the whole thing, is like, I was like, I need to keep picking Boo. Boo has been really, instrumental in me putting up runs, right? The one game I didn't have Boo, you mercied me. 13-4. So I was like, Boo is up in my tier list at this moment in time.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to pick Boo early, so I pick him 6. Because if I don't pick him 6, he's on your team, and that's kind of that. Me as a player, normally, I'd much prefer to pick Birdo there.
Yeah.
And then, like, my team with Birdo instead of Boo, oh my goodness, that's cracked beyond belief. But, it kind of just is what it was in that moment. I was like, I need Boo on my team.
Yeah.
To make things happen.
And for Allison, stadium picking it works just based on, we do rock. Well, so usually we do rock, paper, scissors, but since I had just lost the previous game, I got to choose whether or not I got first or second pick, or I could choose if I got home or away. The home team gets to choose the stadium after the away team bans one stadium, and then you draft your teams. So if the order goes the coin flip or however you decide who chooses, that decision is made. The stadium is banned and then chosen, and then you draft your teams from there. So yeah. By the way, I do really have to go.
No worries.
So if anyone's got any questions to ask me before I leave, then let's do that. And if anyone has like specific things that they want to see, because I have a hockey game that I am going to be, but that's okay. They can wait for me.
Questions? Here's the last draft of the series, and this. So kind of after Colin wins the 2 games, right, ties it up 3-3. I had to go outside myself.
Mm-hmm.
I went outside. It's like 1:30 in the morning at this point. I grabbed some little bites and muffins and just snacking on them. I was like, I cannot lose this game after going up 3-1. And, this is my shot and this is my World Series to win. What is killing me here?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let's think about like what I've been doing. And I thought about it. I was like, Boo is no longer what I need.
Boo's not the guy.
Boo's not the guy anymore because you were crushing me, man. You were hitting up everything. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna take Dixie. I'm gonna let him have Boo, and we'll rock it that way. I ended up getting Noki went earlier, one round earlier than she was because we kind of talked about it a little bit. And I remember taking her, and you were like, I was gonna take her next.
Yeah.
And then and these were kind of the teams here.
Again, pretty standard. I chose Bones.
Dude, I think the Toad Bones pick lost you this game.
I might have to agree.
Because
honestly,
yeah,
because
with Dixie the sidearm.
Yeah, I think Bones and Toad are just two guys that I haven't played enough with to be truly like I like their bats, but I'm not truly comfortable enough with them.
Right.
And
I think Toad makes a lot of sense, but I think the Bones was
it led to a very top heavy lineup.
Yeah.
And the only real good thing I like with Bones is his star hit.
Yeah.
I don't love his slot. So you live and you learn, but I really at that point for me, I was like, okay, I have the upper hand here. I can't overthink.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about the draft. I very bare bones did I think about the draft. I was like, listen, like I right now I have Jason's number. I took these last two games and this is it.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna ride the big
riding
wave.
off of Mercy too.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm gonna ride that big wave, and my head was a little bit bigger than the wave because maybe I didn't think enough about it, but I make the decisions that we make.
I chose draft pick here.
Which you did. I think that made a big difference.
It gave you home team, and you got to pick the stadium. So I was like, well, he's gonna have Bowser. I really don't want to play on Mario Stadium because it's so Bowser just crushes there. I was like, if you go jungle, that's fine. I can draft jungle and I can pick some heavies and make something happen. But I was like, I really don't want to be on Mario. So I banned Mario Stadium here, knowing that you're gonna pick Bowser Castle, which is where I had also gotten Mercy, and I'm 0-2 on Bowser's Castle at this point. It felt like if that's what kills me, that really sucks and it's my fault. But it's something that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's just it worked out.
The decisions you make, absolutely. Yeah, I mean going into this game, obviously, like it's crazy. There's a few questions here that I just want to ask before I forget. Why did you choose Wario Captain? That one.
So yes, the one game with Wario Captain. I know what you're talking about. And I know Colin's gonna jet out of here in a second, but I'll stick around. And if you have any other questions, I can field them too. Wario Captain, I selected. I had the choice of Mario, Wario, or Yoshi, I believe. I know Wario Captain is good. I know Fireball is a great star hit. I know that, but I am kind of dookie with it. So I was like, I'm not going Mario. I'm just gonna double play with it constantly. It's just gonna kill me. So I was like, well, I could go Yoshi. I don't really love his either. So I was like, I'll just go Wario. If there's a situation with 2 outs, I'll let a garlic ball rip, and it just never happened. There was never a situation where it would have been good.
Overall thoughts on the series?
I mean, it was. We kind of left here, and I was like, that's the best World Series we've ever made. Going to Game 7 the first time, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So it was definitely. I thought it was a very fun series. It was so late at night. It was so hot in that basement. I mean, you could see us progress through the night. We just get so sweaty. But it was a great time. It was a lot of fun. Definitely was like dripping sweat trying to be so locked into this game. But it's a great series overall. I mean, I think you played amazing. You mercied me twice in it, so I think that goes without saying.
It's crazy mercying twice and being able to lose in the World
Yeah.
Series, you know. But that's just how the game goes.
2/3 of your wins.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, same thing. I mean, I left my giant comment at the end of this because I wanted to get some words out.
Definitely go check it out if you haven't already. Like the video on here if you haven't already.
Yeah, that too. And I don't know. I said this in the comment and to Hunter before draft night and to you.
Yeah.
Like that was just like the most fun I've ever had playing Mario Baseball and just video games in general, because it's like you don't get to treat video games so very seriously.
Yeah.
But when
you do, man,
when you do, it's quite the rush.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I don't know, it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
I think we were both on top of our game, and that just led to this amazing series.
And I see you're talking about the player cam, because unfortunately the player cam was messed up in this game. When this game ended,
that tilted me, by the way, just a little bit when you shook my hand. Tell.
Well, when this game ended, I didn't have a huge pop off. I kind of just like sat and was like,
soaked it in.
Wow,
which is
I
understandable.
did it. And what did I do with shaking your hand? I don't remember.
Do you remember? So what I was expecting for when I lost.
Yeah.
Was there's gonna be shake hands, nod of approval, you know, like good game, man. You played amazing, man. You played amazing. You shook my hand. Bowser sucks.
Yes.
And I just sat there, and I was like,
"This motherfucker,
this asshole, bro."
Hey, well, listen, it was a very great game.
Absolutely, it was. It was amazing.
Two things could be true.
Absolutely. And I also like, if you rewatch the series, look at the start of each game. We were on the same page about saying we were only saying good luck or have fun until I became down 3-1. Now we started saying good luck, have fun.
Yeah, I think we said nothing at one point.
Yeah, we were just like,
we were like mismatched.
We were all over.
We were having a great time playing this game.
It was so much fun. Such a shame too that the player cam was wrong.
I know,
because I think a lot of people started to realize with this series, or at least started to mention it, that like the player cam can be a fun thing to watch.
Absolutely.
During the game. And I think between me and you, we are both very reactive players to what's happening.
Yeah. Very much so. Very much so. I mean, you see us, we're popping off. We're laughing. We're talking to people and stuff. And my interview got cut off too. I mean, it was very sad. I will show you guys the full outro interview that I did at the end of the stream. That way you can actually have that experience. Again, very sorry that it got corrupted when we exported. It was very odd. But it's kind of, I guess people go, damn. The Bowser sucks thing, bro. It's true. The Jason stare was iconic.
Yeah,
I was both of us, bro. Everyone in the comments like they're so locked in.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any other questions for Colin, definitely throw him out there now. He's gonna head out. I'll probably stick around for another like 10 minutes, show you guys this outro clip. And field any other questions that you guys have. But I mean, yeah, it was just really a lot of fun playing this set of baseball, man. It was crazy. And getting to watch it with everybody too, with the premieres and stuff. That was definitely a great time.
Yeah, I only got in for that last one, but it's cool seeing everybody's reaction in real time. Like the people who were watching as it was happening were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The comments were awesome. Everything about this was just so. I'm very blessed to be part of it.
Very great time. I'm very much looking forward to Classic 6.
Oh man,
I'm very excited.
So much fun.
We've actually started recording some of that, so it's going to be coming your way pretty soon. Get hyped. Oh yeah, so what anything you need to work on for the next season?
Yeah, I mean drafting. Mm-hmm. I think I need to just like be more aware of. I think I undermined it as part of the game, but it's very much the important first step to any game. Maybe pitching as well. Like someone mentioned it earlier. I don't know if I talked about it, but I saw it. I didn't have a lot of backup pitchers that were available to me. Maybe if like being aware during a draft of who a backup pitcher would be and maybe targeting that player for a specific reason.
Like a Madge, Walu, Noki.
Yeah.
Those are 3 good ones.
Other than that, honestly, like just being more aware of like what to do play to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like the KB walk-off homer is the biggest thing of that. Like if I had just sat back for a second and just like was like, okay, let me pause, let me think about this.
Right.
It could have led to a different outcome of that game and therefore a different outcome of the series. So just being a little bit more patient as a player and just like thinking more, because I definitely think there's merit to how I went into the World Series, as it was just trust the game, trust the process, trust my instincts, play your game, and do it the Colin way was fine, but also do some thinking. What else? I think just other than that, like particularly against you, I think you're a rhythm guy. You get into a rhythm.
I do.
And I was I'm a rhythm guy as well. So like me just like pitch, strike, pitch, ball, or whatever it is, just pitch. I should have sat back, waited a second, thrown off the rhythm a little bit of the game. I think that could have gotten your timing a little off, switching pitchers around, which I already mentioned.
Yep.
Those are the things that I take out of this. But I haven't really dissected the series yet. But I definitely will. Kind of start nitpicking things. But those are the big takeaways for me right now.
Nice.
So yeah.
I mean, I think, do you have any other people directing questions towards you specifically? What steps do you think you'll take when you make your next World Series? Yeah, it's kind of the same.
Same sort of question.
Who would each of you want to face for your next World Series / Classic match?
I would want to face you again.
Yeah?
I think there's no other better way than just to run back.
For Classic 6, the run back, that would be awesome. Any major changes in opinion on the tier list after the season / World Series?
Noki's up. I think Noki's been up for a while, but Noki's up for me specifically. I think I'm back on Dixie. I was sticking to Diddy for a while just because I like Diddy's pitching a little bit more, but I think at the end of the day, having a better bat.
Your Dixie was batting like 1,000 in the last 3 games.
Yeah, so was yours, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think that I think those are just the big things. Nothing crazy. Down on Pianta. I don't think I'll be choosing Pianta much anymore unless I have to. But I think this is like the general consensus of everybody.
Nothing crazy, no hot takes.
I said Bowser sucks once, and that's the only time I really get it. Technically, I just said it twice. But,
yes! Clip it!
So I think that's it. I think I'll take my leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's been a pleasure. Absolutely.
Great games, very fun.
Very fun. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for having me.
See you in
I love you all.
the finals of the Classic.
Sounds good to me, brother.
And I'm gonna hang out for a little bit with you guys.
Peace out.
Trying to hit some of these questions, letting Colin just burn through them so that he can get out of here. He's got to go play some sports. It's not enough for him to be good at Mario Baseball. He also needs to be good at real things. It's like really selfish, honestly. But any major changes of like tier list opinion? For me, I'm thinking like Madge is up, which is like kind of crazy to say because you think like, oh, Madge is like top 9 character. I think Madge is like top 7, top 6 character. Just from the defense, from the star hit, it's kind of insane. And anything that I need to work on for my next season, honestly, I think I got to work on my pitching, which is, people laud me for my pitching a lot. Like you're a really good pitcher, blah, blah, blah. Your defense goes crazy. I think it's true in general. Like I have good pitching styles and ideas, right? I know how to condition an opponent. I know how to make them swing at things they don't want to. But, and I notice this very much in this series, once a player's like on a roll with hitting, I like default into like a strike ball pattern. And a lot of the time, it's like once they just got a hit, I'll throw a strike the first pitch to the next batter. So all of a sudden, right, they're hitting the ball. I'm throwing them hittable balls. They're hitting, so they just kind of chain those up and go crazy. I need to kind of take a breath when they get a hit and just calm myself down, make sure I'm switching it up. How validating is this World Series win? PK, this was probably one of the most validating things, like in a long time. Coming out, being the first seed, season 9, being the first seed, Classics 2 and 3. Classic 2 main series, I went undefeated to go into the postseason and to bust her out pretty quick. It was tough, It's tough way for it to happen. But yeah, to come here, I really felt like in the quarters and the semis, I was playing really good ball. So I was like, this is I have my eye on the game, right? I think a lot of the other times we talked about this earlier, I would kind of like look ahead a little bit and like, what's gonna be my next game and what am I gonna do there? When it's like, brother, you are not there, you are here. You gotta win each game as it comes to you. That's where my head was at for this. I was like, let's just play each game where it lies. Don't get caught up on what's gonna happen next or anything like that. And it served me pretty well. We got the win, brought it home, and it felt amazing. So, any chances of seeing you compete online or in more offline competitions? I mean, I think it's been said that I am the maybe the most attended LAN tournament player. Which I mean, with Overcharge, that can't be true anymore, right? Because they're grinding out locals like crazy. So maybe not anymore, but for majors and stuff, that might still be me. I don't know if I'll be traveling as much for tournaments this coming year. I know Philadelphia is going to happen again. I don't know if I'm going to make the trip this time out there. But I love competing in some baseball. I definitely want to get into some NetPlay Superstars, some online tournaments. Which, by the way, join the Discord if you haven't already. You can hang out with us there. That's where they organize these things. But I'd definitely love to get my foot back in the ring. I drowned in pools at Slice. But the two people that beat me in my pools tied for 5th. So it's like, you can't be too upset, I guess. So I definitely want to get into the swing of net play a little bit more. The big thing is I'm just so busy, do a lot of stuff. So it's like to dedicate the time is a little bit difficult. But I'm always keeping an eye when those dates drop. And if I'm free, I'm joining for sure. It's definitely on the docket. And so another thing with this World Series, right? We're playing this game. It is like we're starting this one at like I think like 1:25, 1:30 in the morning. I worked 10-hour shifts, right? So I worked 8 to 6. And we're doing this, and I worked the next day 8 to 6 as well. So it's like I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm toast. All said and done, I win. Feels amazing. I just absolute like catharsis, I guess is the word to use there. And we had joked that if the series went like 4-0, that we were gonna go to Dennis's house and just hang out in the pool, in the hot tub, just chill out with the bros. And I won this game. Did our interviews. We're sitting around after. I'm like, yo, we going to Dennis's? What's up? Like, we doing this? So after this, we went to Dennis's house and went swimming at like 3 a.m. When swimming, went in the hot tub. And I think we were at Dennis's house till 4 a.m. So that was pretty crazy. How much did stamina factor into your performance? I think I don't know. I think it had an effect probably on both of us. As I got more tired throughout the night, I started swinging at worse pitches. I was a little bit less locked in on my batting, so you'll see I start to chase a lot more as the series progresses, which is probably a 2-factor thing, right? It's me being a little bit more tired. It's probably also Colin picking up on my habits. I'm not trying to like take anything away there, but it definitely became a factor in like trying to keep it together and make sure that you're not just swinging at everything. But dude, going into the hot tub at Dennis's, probably the best feeling ever as a champion. It was amazing stuff. Definitely noticed in game 5 and 6. Yeah, Allison, for sure. It just gets difficult, and it's very hard to lay off those pitches when you're like, I'm tired and want to go to bed. But yeah, no, it was a great season, season 10. One for the record books. I think the whole playoffs too had some amazing, amazing games. Matty Collin was awesome. My game with Andrew, I had that crazy comeback. I was down 9-0, ended up winning it, and he left. That was really funny. Um, and then, obviously, I mean, this game, the crown jewel of the season, was very, very nice. Yeah, Allison, that too is like when I was trying to close out. I think that probably played a bigger factor than anything. Is like I know I'm one game away from winning this, and Colin knows he's one game away from losing it. So we were kind of both really fighting here, and I think when you're one game away from losing, that ekes out being one game away from winning. You know, fighting for your life versus fighting for the win is a little bit different, and maybe that's what kind of came through in this last game 7 here. Me managing to win it. I knew if I lost, it was over. You guys played the whole series in one night. Yes, Aaron. Yeah, we played. We started at 9:30 p.m. and played all 7 games in a row, all in one night, which was an absolute grind. We didn't have the air conditioning set up in the basement. We had a bunch of people in here. The lights were on, so it was so hot. It was so late at night. Made a comment on the Andrew comeback game that is a sign that it was your year. And it was cool it actually panned out. Yeah, absolutely. Turned out. I think it would have been really funny if Huge beat me game 2 and we went into a game 3 of me versus Huge. I really do wish that happened. And if I was throwing for content, I would have lost to Huge on purpose. Granted, I did put Wario pitcher on the mound, so I was throwing a little bit. But I thought I could still get it done. And it was closer than I wanted it to be, honestly. But yeah, no, I think we had that game, and then my series with Nick, I mercied him 3 times in 4 games. So it's funny, I got mercied twice here. I believe how many games did I end up playing? I played 2 against Andrew, 4 against Nick. Out of the 13 games I played, I think 6 or 7 of them were mercies, either by me or against me, which is like crazy to think about in that the whole playoffs, the whole postseason. All of them being mercies like that was just wild. Which DC player do you think has improved the most this season? That's a really good question. I think Huge and Spencer. Now, Huge and Spencer, I think, are some of our more rookie level players, I'll say. So they have a lot of room to work with, so it's a little bit easier to see their improvements. I think they've been absolutely killing it lately. I think they're really starting to get a feel for it. And I think in the learning curve of Mario Baseball, it's very hard to learn for a while. And then like 2 things click and you instantly get like a shoot up in improvement and skill. So I think that they're reaching that jump if they have not reached it already. I think Huge has the skill. I think he just can't draft at all. His drafts are always terrible. He's very much like me, where he's like, I'm not going to pick Bowser, but I don't think he knows how to draft a Bowserless team very well. He's just kind of drafting players where you really need a cohesive group in order to just be like, I'm not going to pick Bowser. And it will be what it will be. So I think Huge definitely has a big moments to get out of here. Thinking about your road to the World Series, was there anything that you surprised you? Is there anyone you will be monitoring this upcoming season? So anything that surprised me, I mean, Maddie and Colin's game. Maddie absolutely popped off. He almost knocked Colin out in the quarterfinals. So that was pretty surprising to see. I gotta say, I was rooting for Maddie very hard that game just because you'd love to see an underdog get the upset like that. And then watching Dennis and Colin, that we had filmed that after I knew that I was going to the World Series already. I was rooting for Dennis so hard, man, because I knew I had a better chance against Dennis than Colin, so I was really rooting for it. But any other players that surprised me from season 10? I don't think any other big surprises besides Huge and, like I said, Huge and Spencer. Those are kind of them. Yeah, Huge's nervousness in drafting the Classic. Absolutely. I'm very excited for the Classic. I think that's going to be very fun. We got some killers in that. Joe is back. We got Hunter. Gil is back. So 3 big dogs joining the fray is very exciting. It's going to be an awesome season. I'm so hyped for some Moonball, man. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I think I've hit on kind of everything that I wanted to talk about here. Um, yeah, I think so. If there was, I know actually we did skip. If you wanted to see the draft from Game 6, let me know. I mean, we don't have Colin, so we can't really talk about it, but everyone ended up about where they have been. I agree with that, Allison. Yeah, I definitely think that that was the case. We didn't really see. Did we not see any upsets in the game? I think we didn't, right? Because seeds 1 through 4 made it to top 4. I beat Nick, and Colin was the second seed. Wow, wait. Did this actually go 1-1 with seeding? What the heck? Do you think you and Colin are on another tier from the others, or are there others in your tier? I think I tier list for the players. Ready? It's me, Colin, Joe, Dennis are in the first tier. Then I would say you get Nick. Do I put? I feel like Nick might just be at his own tier. Then after that, I would say like Lionel, Maddie, Andrew. No, you know what? Sorry. Walk it back. Me, Joe, Colin, Dennis, Andrew, Nick. I have to rate Andrew before Nick. That's my bad. Then Lionel, Maddie, Tyler. I might forget people, so keep me honest here. What am I? I'm at 9 players. Then below that, huge Spencer, Cokes. I think those were the players for this series. Did I forget anybody? I think that was all 12, right? It was chalked. It was chalked. But we fixed it. We fixed it. Don't worry. What's your favorite game? What are your favorite games besides Mario Baseball? Great question, Sareem. So currently, I've been grinding out Balatro. It's a poker roguelike. If you haven't heard of it, I've been playing that. I've been putting so many hours into that, so it's been a really fun time. I'm trying to get completionist run done on it, so yeah, that's kind of where I've been going through it. 12, quote unquote 12. What does that mean? Oh wait, because I counted Joe. Who did I forget? Oh no, I forgot somebody. Oh no, but. That's a game I've been playing a lot. Back in the day, I played a lot of Smash Bros. I don't play much anymore, but that was a competitive game I took for a while. I used to play a lot of Overwatch online. I played a lot of Fortnite for a while. Currently, I've been playing a ton of Balatro. That's really like all my gaming time has been going to. Love roguelikes. That's kind of my big genre. Hollow Knight, Celeste. Those are top tier games as well. That's kind of where I've been at. Y'all at 11 because no Joe. This makes sense. I'm glad that I've done it correctly then. But yeah, I mean, if you have any other... Yo, Crit Nick, what's up?
What's up?
Kind of wrapping up here. Colin had the dipski because he has Hacky.
As usual.
As the usual. Y'all got to do Melee in the Olympics? Yo. I hate
They
Melee.
really... I like Melee. Nobody else wanted to do it.
Yeah. No, I don't. Melee is just like... too much, man. You know, if I'm not.
Oh,
like,
what, is there a skill gap?
There is a skill gap, and I'm not skillful in Melee.
Just like every other game we've played.
Yeah, that's true, but it's a little different because like the skill floor in Melee is very high. I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not like meeting a certain level of competitiveness in my play, then I'm just not enjoying the game. Another game that I like a lot, by the way, is chess. I love playing chess. Me and Andrew play quite often. That was the Crit Nick. What are ways to jump in skill? Like, what separates the players in our tier versus, like, the Nick and the Andrew tier? So, I think a big way to jump up is you either, like, a lot of those players will have either good offense or good defense. You need to be well-rounded to be in that top tier. You need to be able to draft good teams. You need to be able to perform with those teams. Convert on runners you have on base. That's a big thing. I think Nick and Andrew, very much. Andrew's just a hot and cold player, so a lot of the time he's just like swinging at really bad things. Andrew's big problem is he's bad at timing his hits, because he has worse reaction time than like most people. It's just like an anomaly in him, so he has a harder time doing it. And I think Nick struggles a lot with his defensive play. His pitching is very predictable. And then I think the players below that tier kind of get those problems get exacerbated as you go with each of them. And I think like Huge, Spencer, Cokes, I think they have like Cokes is a hot and cold player. He's just cold more than hot. I think Huge and Spencer each have like set hurdles that they just need to get past in order to progress to the next tier. Huge needs to learn his drafting. He needs to figure out what teams work for him. And Spencer needs to get better with his converting on star swings. I think he puts himself in really good situations a lot. You'll actually see him go toe-to-toe with a lot of the like good players and get winning chances. But he's not able to get that consistency with like the Madge star swing, the Birdo star swing. Those kind of fall through for him, and it really damages him. If you were to give each of your fellow DC players one piece of advice for the coming season, what would you tell them? Hey, I'm glad I'm like already answering that question before even reading it, right? I just hit Huge and Spencer. It's going to be very tough, right, in terms of this next classic, because it's Moonball. It's mixed stars. It's something that people have talked about for a while. Never really had any competitive play for it, so it's going to be very interesting. The meta is going to kind of shape up before our eyes, which is going to be kind of tough because we drafted classic teams. We can't adjust on them. So that'll be interesting. But I think, it's very tough, right? Gil, Joe, Dennis, Hunter, Colin, right? Those players, they're kind of top dogs. I'm not giving them advice because I want to beat them. Nick, you got to work on your pitching. Andrew, you got to work on your timing. The game isn't fully random, I promise. Who else do we have? Tyler needs to work on his pitching, which I've actually talked with him about. He throws a lot of like first pitch inside balls, which you might see if you pay attention to Tyler games. First pitch always is like an inside hittable ball. But his biggest thing is he needs to work on his mental game. He gets too caught up on what happened in the game. Like one bobble that gives up a run, he's destroyed. He's destroyed for the entire game. So he needs to chalk that up and just laugh it off, man. Then who else are the big people? Lionel is a really good all around player. I think he's the Mario of our team, honestly, of the Dinger City boys. Just very good in every aspect. He's really good at going in with a strategy. Lionel needs to be able to adjust mid game because he played against Dennis, and I think he actually beat Dennis season 10. I told him my advice going in was like, hey, don't swing on the first like 3 pitches. Dennis is going to try to milk the count. He's going to throw outside, get you to chase. Just don't do it. You're very patient. Use it to your advantage. Get ahead in the count. Get a hitter's count. But then people pick up on it and they full swap on him, and now he's looking at strikes ever. So he needs to adjust a little bit, and he'll be in a really good spot. Who else is in the league? Huge, we talked about. He needs to get better with drafting characters. Talked about Andrew. I think I've gotten everybody. If there's somebody I've missed, which is very possible, we have a lot of people here. Maddie, what advice would I give Maddie? I think he needs to just play the game like once more a week, and he'll be really good. You see, Maddie has the sauce. He almost took Colin out before we even got to the World Series here, so he can put up with characters he's good with. He just needs to. He gets out of practice very easily. He gets rusty very quick. So that's Maddie's big flaw. What would you say my biggest hurdles? Feel like you either mercy an opponent or you play to their level and go one way or another. Yeah. Big thing for me is like, I think that I get lazy in my game. Because I was saying this earlier, like whenever you could look at it in this series, you'll see it for sure in games 5 and 6. Every time Colin got a hit, my next throw, my next pitch, inside strike. Every single time. Well, maybe not inside strike, but a strike, pretty much always. I need to be able to just be like, all right, listen, like keep your head in it. Keep thinking about what you're throwing. Don't get comfortable. People say I'm such a good pitcher all the time, and I think I kind of lean on that. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm good at pitching. I don't need to think about it too much. No, the reason I'm good at pitching is because I think about it. So I need to stay on the level with that, make sure that I'm playing to that. And I mean, another big thing is just to not let my nerves get to me, man. And that's what I did a great job with that in this World Series and this playoffs in general. I kind of just held it close to my chest, made sure I wasn't going crazy, and it paid off well. And I got to say, now that I have a win under my belt here with the World Series, the win, the World Series, right? Then your city champion. Those nerves are going to be gone because now I'm just playing ball with the boys. So you're going to see a different type of beast hitting the ball field from now on. Get excited for it. Speaking of the draft, is there anything you are hoping to change in your lineup before teams are completely locked on the Classic Six? That's a great question. My team is it's weird. I was kind of hamming it up on the camera. I was like, "What happened with my team? It's so bad." I don't think my team is bad. It's just a defensive singles hitting team, and I'm gonna have to play to that. Stars on league, so that's gonna be tough because people are gonna be, crushing balls out of the park. My team, I think, is gonna be really good on Peach's Garden, and it's gonna be subpar everywhere else, and I'm gonna have to make up the gap in my playing. I would love to have gotten rid of that Shy Guy for a Toad on my team. It's just not gonna happen. People know Toad is good, so I can't get away with it. My team's probably just going to be as is. I don't think I've ever made a trade in the Classic, unless I'm forgetting something. But, we'll see how that goes. So what were your thoughts on being the first season with hazards on? What did the crew think of it? We've played the Classic with hazards on now for a while. So, yeah, this is the first competitive season. But we have been playing with them competitively. So, we've kind of had this conversation. The biggest thing is it's good content. It's funny when Pianta hits it inside the Parker because Luigi's getting eaten by a piranha plant. So it makes for good shorts. It makes for good content, good clips. And you know what? Me personally, I'm not one of those guys that gets tilted out by it. So I'm just having fun. That's something I've been very good at with this game and this season in general is being able to laugh off the, whatever happens to me. Like, oh my goodness, Wario bobbled, gave up 3 runs. Oh well, teehee. It is what it is. So that's kind of where my head's been at. What did the crew think of it? I think everybody felt pretty similarly with the hazards on, where it was like, it's good content. We're in for it. You hopping in?
No.
All right.
I'm stealing this intro.
Hey, gang.
I don't want to play with you anymore. How would you rank the stadiums? For me,
Peach's Garden #1.
For me personally, I'd put Peach's Garden #1. It's my best stadium for sure. After this series, #2 is going to be Yoshi's. #3, Wario's. #4, Mario's. #5, DK. And #6, Bowser's Castle. I hate Bowser's Castle after this series. Oh my goodness. I didn't want to get Peach's Garden for the Classic, but it just kind of, it was what it was. I draft Peach's Garden teams, so when I have to pick between Peach's Garden and something else, I'm going to pick Peach's Garden. Absolutely dream. But yeah, I mean, you guys have any other questions, definitely let me know. I think that's kind of my big takeaways from this World Series. Definitely felt really good, really great to do. Get the win under my belt. I'm looking forward to more ball with the boys. We'll probably try to get a baseball stream going for you guys soon. But yeah, I think with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and set up. I'm going to show you guys the full outro interview that I had done after winning the World Series. It was very tragic. It got cut off. It was corrupted in export. It is what it is. But we still have the file. We still have it. So I will show it to you guys. We will memorialize it here in the Q&A. You guys got 1 minute on the clock to ask me any more questions that you'd like. And then I'm going to pop that up and then we'll close things off. But very excited for Classic 6. A lot of scary players. Gil, Joe, Dennis, Colin, Hunter. These guys are, I think that they got a lot of sauce in the baseball game. I think those 6 players, anyone could be taking it. My pick to win Classic 6 is myself, because I'm going to win it. But if it wasn't going to be myself, I think I'm going to pick Dennis as my pick to win Classic 6. He has 6 starred on characters. I think we underrated stars on characters in the draft quite a bit. He's got 6 stars on characters out of his 9 players. He's got a very Dennis team. He's got those bones on his squad. He's got DK. So I think he's in a comfortable position for this going into Classic 6. And he's got the skills to do it. How good are Hunter and Gil? So Gil is a 2-time World Series winner. Back in the day, though, right? It's been a while since then. People have gotten a lot better. Gil played in the Classic 5, the extra smaller one, the Big Baller Classic. And he did well. He's a good player. He's a very offensively sided player. He's kind of similar to me, where he'll pick very off meta. You know what? Here's how I would say Gil is. Gil is me. I'm defense oriented. Gil is offense oriented. In terms of his draft and his play. So Gil he's got the sauce. I would probably say he's the 6th best player. I would put Hunter above Gil. I don't know where I'd put Hunter in terms of the other 5 of us though. Hunter won the Brooklyn LAN event, which me, Dennis, Colin were competing in. So that was very good. That's a great win to have under his belt. He's got skills, Hunter, for sure. So he's going to be a threat to watch out for. And we'll see. He might just start dropping us like flies. I hope not, though. I definitely am excited to play him and put him in the ground. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a really exciting classic number 6. Some great content. We've already filmed some games for it, and they've been very fun. I'm excited for those to get to your eyeballs soon. Once we wrap up with strikers for the Mario Olympics, Classic 6 is going to be coming out, so that's going to be very exciting. I hope you guys have enjoyed Season 10 as much as I have. Even if I had lost it there in the Game 7, it's still one for the record books. The first 7th game World Series that we've had at Dinger City in Season 10 with 2 newcomers to the World Series. You just can't write it up any better than that. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. Very happy that I was able to take home the win. It felt amazing, and you'll kind of hear me talk a little bit more about that as we transition over to the outro that I had for the season. So guys, I'm going to pull that up. Bear with me for just 1 second, because it's going to be a little bit... I have to show you it just on Premiere, so it's a little bit scuffed. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty scuffed. But it is what it is. Alright. And, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. Oh no. What will I do if you can't? I don't know. You guys gotta let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear this? Probably not. Hold on. Hold the phone. That's my TV. Okay, wait, we're cooking. Where'd the remote go? I'm just gonna blast it on the TV, I guess. I don't know, man. Thank you for answering. Yeah, absolutely. It was great. Hey, I'm glad to hear you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, the audio is kind of important. Oh, whoa. What was it like to get embarrassed in Strikers? Alright, listen, if I played the game more than one single time, which you can actually watch the member game, me and Tyler played it for the first time, then maybe things would have turned out differently, okay? I didn't feel embarrassed, although I did lose badly. Do you like classics or regular seasons more? Me personally, I like regular seasons more. But I think classics have a lot of charm to them. They're good in different ways. I do prefer seasons though, because I like switching up my characters. I just think it's fun. No audio. Yeah. All right, hold on though. Check this out. Okay, that's really loud. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm going to give you a slow roll of audio.
Jason, we're gonna have him come in here and
let me know if this is good.
So
can you hear? Can you see nicely?
For the next thing, man.
You guys gotta let me know. I'm sorry, I'm not a producer.
Folks,
can you hear?
We did it. We got the win. World Series champion, first ever Game 7. And I gotta say, I mean, great games to Colin. I really, I mean, him or Dennis were my options going into this. I was pretty stoked either way. Me and Dennis have had a pretty long-standing rivalry at this point. A lot of one-run games. Colin as well, a burgeoning rival of mine. A lot of games lost to him. You can check back Classic 3 finals. That's a spoiler. Keep up. I don't know what to tell you. But in Game 7, historic moment.
I got the blue line. I can't fix it. I'm sorry.
Batter of the game, Bowser. And what does he do? Does what Bowser does best. He gets out. Bowser sucks at Mario Baseball. I didn't pick him once this entire season, and who came out on top? I've been told this belt has Bowser wins games on it. There it is. Probably can't read it from there. It says Bowser wins games. You can trust me. It will now say Bowser sucks until somebody takes the belt from me. Beautiful stuff. A beautiful belt that I will proudly wear. What a series, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute blast. I have wanted this for so long, and it's very, very cathartic to finally win one. I hope you guys enjoyed the season. I hope you guys are excited for what's to come, because in the next season, we're deleting Bowser. Thank you so much for watching. Finger City out.
There you guys go. So you didn't miss too much. Not too much was lost. Don't you worry. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. So there you guys have it. That was the full outro interview. This is the king. Absolutely. I have it right here. At what point in a draft would I pick Bowser, or is it not at all? So for that series, it was not at all. Because I wanted to make the point. You know, I wanted to do it. I wanted to bring him the belt with no Bowser. And we got it done. Generally, I will pick Bowser. I put him at like 4 on the tier list, partially because it's funny, but also I think like I actually don't think people perform with Bowser as well as they might think they do. So typically me, I'll pick him like 4th in the draft. But that's not always true. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm feeling silly and goofy, and he'll end up being drafted like 13th. And it's like, all right, it's all yours. So yeah, guys. Hey, that is the wrap on season 10. It's in the books. We've done it. It was an absolutely wild ride from start to finish. So many great games of ball out there. 7 games of the World Series over 4 hours between me and Colin. Fun fact, Petey went 0-7 in the World Series. Crazy. Thank you to everybody for following up. Thank you for keeping the character records. It's the only reason I know Petey went 0-7, which is really funny. Every like, every comment, guys. I've read every single comment, and it absolutely warms my heart. Can you see me right now? Can you see me right now? Is my thing paused? Am I invisible? Am I invisible to you? I don't know. Am I going to wear the belt all in the next World Series when I represent this upcoming season? Probably not. It's kind of huge. So, you know what? It is what it is. But guys, I truly do appreciate it. It warms my heart having you here with us to experience some awesome ball. You know, stuff like this is why we play baseball. This is why we're here. So, you know, stick around. So much more to come. It's going to be a great time. And guys, I think with all of that being said, you know, I am a ghost. I'm invisible. You can't see me,
What? I'm a ghost! No! What the heck? You know what, guys? It simply is what it is. This is Ghost City. You see them? Oh my goodness, you can see ghosts. You see dead people. It's okay, because this, you know what? We're ending it here anyway. I reset the camera, so maybe it'll work. I don't think it did, though. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Go give some love to Colin in that video. He put a very heartfelt post there. You definitely give it a read if you haven't. It goes into a lot of his insights there as well, so you get a little bit more. But that is going to be it for Season 10. That is going to be it for us today here at Dinger City. So, as always, guys, thank you so much. And Dinger City out. End the stream! End the stream! End the stream!